everyone, good evening.
Hi, how are
Hi,
you?
How's
hi
everyone?
everyone.
Good.
Welcome everyone to the study today, and we have quite an interesting topic: casting of the transient and revealing the truth. So, actually, I was just, reading about this concept, and I read about the Tatsunokuchi persecution. Basically, Nichiren Daishonin. I was reading about him. He was persecuted time and again for his thoughts and his ideas of Nichiren Buddhism. And in between, there was this emperor called Heino Seimon, and he actually sent his soldiers to sort of catch Nichiren Daishonin in the middle of the night and persecute him at Tatsunokuchi beach. But over there was this bright orb of light that sort of distracted the soldiers, and in the midst of that, Nichiren was spared. So, although he didn't die, but they say that he actually arose from being an ordinary human being into realizing his potential as the Buddha of the latter day of the law. And he realized that he wanted to spread Buddhism everywhere and make everyone happy. And they call this incident the casting of the transient and revealing the true. But I understand the incident, and of course, there's a lot of confusion in my mind. Daishin was still alive, but he says that I died there and I became a Buddha from there, from an ordinary human being. So I'm a little confused. Plus, the words of this concept are a little heavy. So, Tanvi, what do you think? Like this concept, casting of the transient and revealing the truth, what do you possibly think that this concept could mean?
When I first read the study material ka heading, I was like, dude, this is really like complicated, like transient, true, casting off. It seemed like somebody's wiping something off to reveal something else. But then, as I read it, like you explained about the persecution, I think I tried to like find meaning of that in my own life, and I realized that I keep telling people, oh, I'm this fashion designer, I'm working on sustainability, etc., etc. But technically, is that really my identity though? It's not. I mean, up until now, up until reading the concept, I thought being a fashion designer, a sustainable designer is my identity. But as I read more, I realized that being a designer is just my transient identity, because transient in itself means something that can always evolve. Like at first I was an intern, then I was an assistant designer, now I'm a fashion designer. At some point I'll be somebody's sister or like girlfriend. If I get married, I'll be somebody's wife. But that will always change, right? So that is my transient identity. But my true identity is the inner layer, that is bodhisattva of the earth. And what is my mission? To work towards kosen rufu, for peace and happiness. That starts with me and then it'll spread to the world, right? So I found a really funny way to explain it. I don't know if it'll make sense. Imagine you're a Ferrero Rocher, okay, and there's two layers to you. So the top layer is your transient identity, जो आप student हो, or like you're a sister, you're an artist. But अगर आप top layer को खा जाओगे तो अंदर क्या बचेगा? It is your identity of a bodhisattva. Why are we on this earth? To make this world a better place, to create happiness and to create value. But that doesn't mean that our top layer, our transient identity, is not important, because we can use it to facilitate Kosen Rufu. So I can actually use my design practice to propagate Buddhism, and as a result, propagate Kosen Rufu in the world. I can create value through my work and create Kosen Rufu as a result. So, both layers are important, but it's important to use your transient identity to move things towards Kosen Rufu. And I was speaking to Samriti the other day, and she told me some really wonderful things, but I can't remember. So maybe Samriti, do you want to like tell everybody else also?
Yeah, sure. I would love to tell everyone what I understood from this concept. So I think the worldly prosperity is very relative and transient. Like to give an example of a firework. We see the firework burning, it's mesmerizing and beautiful, but it burns out really quickly. After that, what happens? We might forget that. Similarly, the obstacles and the challenges that we face in our lives, I think, are transient. But the only true part in this is how we overcome that and how we deal with it and how we put up ourselves later. So I think the only way to achieve absolute and eternal prosperity and happiness is to unlock the palace that is within our hearts and elevate our life state. That means to dedicate our life to Kosen Rufu, which is our ultimate goal on this earth, to dedicate for world peace and for Kosen Rufu. And I think two most main points of practice is to introduce people and to teach your own self also. And similarly, I was also introduced to this practice, and the past year has been a life full of challenges. You know, I have this nature of feeling dejected when I do not get something which I, desired, like I desired the most and I do not get it. And then I feel dejected. But this past year, I've seen the most beautiful change coming in me. That is, I do not feel dejected. I just take it as a blessing from God that it's not this. You need something else in your life. It's not meant for you. So just seeing myself that point of time, not to feel dejected and moving on. It's what I think it's transient, because the obstacle is transient, but your true self is letting it sink in you and accepting happiness out of it. To understand the true self, what actually true means, I think I could not get that point. If Taruna auntie could explain it better.
Thank you, Samriddhi. I feel you explained it very well. Thank you so much. I'll also explain it through my own life. From time to time, my identity changes. Like, first of all, I think the biggest debt is for the debt towards the parents. My identity as a daughter who is supporting my mother who's been independent, has always lived a life of dignity, has had a setback, the reason she's not able to get up from bed. My identity over here from a daughter changes to like the bodhisattva of the earth. I am constantly giving her the hope, along with making her comfortable, that this is a phase and she will surely be able to get up and be on her own. Another big challenge in our life is my identity as a mother. These days, what we are facing, my son's best friend is fighting a life-threatening disease. And I see that scare, that a lot of stress on him. And I see that person also really going through a lot. Again, my identity as the bodhisattva of the earth is to support him. Constantly, I have to shift from my identity of a mother to the identity of the bodhisattva of the earth, and to constantly be by his side, pray for her. What is the basic of our practice? To pray for others. Pray for her that she's absolutely victorious, and I'm able to show that victory even to my son, actually. And then my identity as a wife who has to constantly encourage her husband to be calm and the person who's seeing a very low business these days, maybe because of COVID. But I feel the identity, our original identity, these are all transient phases. It is the bodhisattva of the earth. That is the main thing we are here for.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I had a query here. Like, Taruna auntie, I think you really explained it beautifully. But do you feel that maybe this concept deals with sort of challenges in life? Like, how do you overcome challenges? You know, Geeta auntie, maybe you could tell us how you can actually, with the help of this concept, overcome challenges.
I would like to add to this, just as Taruna said, or even Tanvi said this same thing, that what we are facing right now, what our condition is right now, it will not be the same after some time. So in that way, we encounter so many obstacles and problems in our lives, and challenges which really leave us crushed. We are totally deadlocked. We just try our best, no way to come out of it. Whatever we try, we are just absolutely not able to get out of that situation. So in such cases, such deadlocks, we find that faith is the only key that can open such a deadlock. So when we resort to faith, we are able to, kind of let things go. And we say the Gonzon will take care of them. These will also pass. The Gonzon will take care of them. Inside us, we are like very assured, having faith in the Gonzon. So that way, we are not fighting against the situation. We have determined whatever happens, the Gonzon knows what is best for us. That is the part of faith whenever we encounter problems or such challenging deadlocks.
Right.
The moment we decide that this is not the way that we have to give up, we have not to give up on ourselves, that is when the victory is ours. That is when we have transformed our obstacles into our victories. That the inner determination, that is what helps us to sail through. And sometimes when I sit to chant, I just get ideas, I get clarity as to how to go about my situation. That so many times we go slack in our faith. For example, when we are in very good circumstances, very comfortable in life, we tend to, slow down our activities in the Gakai and be irregular with our practice in general, be it Daimako, be it home visits or in Gongyo. At that time, and then there are other times when we are in grief, like death of someone, very close to us. And also when some or the other, problem with
something
us.
like not getting what we want. Like, for example, if I'm looking for a job and I was rejected, is that what you mean? Not things not going our way, then we sort of become disheartened?
Yeah, we become disheartened in those situations. So that is the time, our faith goes haywire. And again, we have to take hold of ourselves. Again, start, be regular in our, practice of faith. Be regular in our Gongyo, Daimako, paying home visits, reading. So that is how we can bring up our rise to our good life state.
Right. Geeta auntie, how you spoke about obstacles. So, in a way, does this mean that, I mean, obviously nobody wants obstacles. We all want like smooth sailing in life. I mean, who would be like, mujhe obstacles chahiye? But am I correct in saying that in this context, we should view obstacles, like when we look at it from the realm of faith, we should look at them as transient, as something that will keep on changing, like good times and bad times, they'll keep coming in one or the other form. But is to use the strategy of the Lotus Sutra to overcome those obstacles. Is that what you're trying to say? That is the true aspect of all phenomena.
Yeah, that is exactly what I mean to say. That obstacles are transient, but being undefeated, that is true. Faith is what keeps us going.
That's actually so beautiful.
And when we are passing through these transient phases, so there's always a worry which comes on mind. I was given the guidance at that moment. Even if you do 3 Daimukus, those 3 Daimukus also help you. Of course, we need to do a stronger Daimuku, but that will also help you at that moment.
That's so relevant, auntie, because I was attending this study session at the BSG headquarters in Hoskas, and Vishesh Gupta, the chairperson, he said that challenges are constant. They will keep coming. It will be challenge A or challenge B. But suffering because of your challenges and problems is optional. Yeah. So we can choose to be in a high life state while we challenge our obstacles and our day-to-day worries. That as long as we use the strategy of the Lotus Sutra, we are practicing and living our truth, which is staying undefeated. So that is like wow to me.
Like I asked the question in the beginning that what is casting of the transient and revealing the true, and what I've gathered from everybody's answers is sort of 2-3 things. That first of all, basically we have to cast off the transient and reveal the true every day in our lives. So it's something that we are constantly doing and improving upon. And how we bring it into the realm of faith is sort of having constant dialogues with people, doing our daimoku regularly, and actually taking the responsibility, taking our own responsibility, realizing that we have assumed whatever difficulties we are having in life on purpose. So sort of we have taken on this responsibility, and we have to discharge this burden by spreading Kosen Rufo in the world and making everyone happy. And I think what I gather from what everyone has said is like, so we all have different purposes in life. Like a human being could possibly be many things. They could have different roles in life. For example, if I'm a lawyer or Tanvi is a fashion designer, we could be preoccupied with those things. We have many purposes. We have, like, human beings eat, we watch Netflix, we watch movies, we can fulfill many purposes. But then our higher purpose is sort of to achieve Kosen Rufu and help everyone else achieve Kosen Rufu, like a seed. We can take the example of a seed. For example, you could use a seed in cooking. You could use a seed possibly to feed birds. But the actual higher purpose of a seed is to grow out into a tree. So the transient for the seed could be like these minimal purposes. We can do a lot of things with our life. But our higher purpose would be to grow out into the tree, which the seed does. So this is sort of what I understand from this concept and from what all of you have said.